A Norfolk family needs your help to find their missing daughter.
And they're desperate to get 18-year-old Angelica Hadsell back home. Her friends and family call her AJ. They haven't seen her since Monday morning, but she may have been spotted in Richmond. 10 on your side's Joe Fisher talked to her mom today. And Joe, they're still working with just a little bit of information.
Yes, Stephanie, few leads and a lot of questions. Family and friends have put up more than 1,000 of these flyers, and tonight they're asking you at home to take a good look, and they're begging for your help in the search.
This is like a horrible nightmare that I feel like I should be waking up from at any moment.
It's been 4 long days for Jennifer Hadsell. Her daughter, Angelica, called AJ by family, hasn't been seen since 2:30 Monday afternoon along Millard Street in Norfolk. A neighbor says he saw her driving her red truck. That truck now sits in the family's driveway.
I do believe that she is safe.
18-year-old AJ was home on spring break from Longwood University in Farmville. And while she told family she was stressed out, Mom says this behavior is far from normal.
She's a freshman in college. She moved away from home. You know, just your normal everyday life stresses.
Jennifer heard from AJ by text message for the last time Tuesday morning. She wrote that she was okay, but not ready to return home. But the question remains, was it AJ or someone else on the other end of the phone?
Some of the things that were said were just, they were not her. They were off.
West Virginia, Oklahoma, Ohio.
Childhood friends from the Tarleton area of Norfolk have taken to social media, trying to get as many eyes on Angelica as they possibly can.
Never in my life would I think I would have to go looking for my best friend.
Where on Halpern did you find it?
Today, AJ's credit card was found by a friend laying on the street 1 block from her home, and Norfolk police confirm a possible sighting on the campus of VCU in Richmond.
Somebody's daughter at VCU thinks she may have seen her on the VCU campus yesterday.
Few answers for family and friends who say they're mentally and physically exhausted. 3 sleepless nights, but they're not losing hope.
So many people have asked me, what can they do? Find her, but just keep posting, sharing, tagging, posting. Just don't stop. Just don't stop.
And Norfolk police are continuing to search for AJ right now. They say there's no signs of foul play here. AJ's boyfriend is from Norfolk. He's involved in the search, and AJ's mom says there's no history of mental illness or depression. If you have any information at all, call the number right there on your screen. Live there in the newsroom, I'm Joe Fisher, 10 on your side.
An old text message may reveal new information in the disappearance of an 18-year-old from Norfolk. AJ Hadsell's family is convinced she was taken against her will. They spent the morning searching again for any signs of her. Then on your side's Joe Fisher caught up with them in a story that you'll see only on 10.
I say she's screaming help. She wants somebody to find her. She wants to come get her.
The family of Angelica Hadsell says there's suspicion and new facts surrounding the young woman's disappearance.
She was scared of a situation, and we didn't know about it.
Scared. AJ told friends she was on alert and in fear of a certain person in the weeks leading up to March 2nd. That's the last time anyone has seen her.
This person supposedly said that he wanted to hang out, and she said she didn't think it was a good idea.
AJ's cousin, Chelsea Zirkle, says she had confidential conversations with AJ.
She was more worried that this person would maybe do something. And this person is the person that we kind of suspect did something.
The search for AJ's cell phone in full force Friday, the 11th day spent in this wooded area. Wesley Hadsell, AJ's father, says he believes he knows at least one of the people involved.
She didn't go on her own. You know, she's not just sitting somewhere happy watching TV, watching this.
Text messages sent by AJ in late February are not sitting well with family and friends. She writes, quote, "I should probably stop texting him back," followed by, quote, "help," in all capital letters.
My daughter's missing, and it's destroying the family as far as our emotions.
Heartbroken, but remaining strong. A family that's optimistic about AJ making a safe return home.
We're going to keep fighting to find her, and that if she's watching this, she better keep fighting too. Because it's not over yet. It's not going to be over until she comes home.
In an interesting turn of events, Norfolk officers arrested Wesley Hadsell, the missing teen's father. We're told the charges are not connected to Angelica's disappearance. 10 on your side's Joe Fisher talked to Hadsell today in jail.
Deanna, Wesley Hadsell was arrested on charges of obstructing justice, possessing ammunition after a felony, and breaking and entering. From jail today, he admits to these charges, but says he has no idea at all where his missing daughter could be tonight.
I have hope. We have hope.
As search crews scoured a wooded area in Chesapeake for Angelica Hadsell Saturday, her father was praying for her safe return from a jail cell. Wesley Hadsell says he was arrested after being interrogated by police for more than 15 hours Friday.
They asked me where she was at. I know. Give them the answers. I can bring AJ home. Their words last night.
Police are not ruling out foul play, but say they have no suspects. Hadsell is convinced his daughter was taken against her will on March 2nd. So confident, he says he broke into the home of the person he suspects took his daughter.
I couldn't sit a minute away from where my daughter may have been.
Hadsell admits to spending roughly 18 minutes inside the home, tearing through trash cans, peeling back carpet, even punching the family's dog out of anger. He says he found AJ's jacket in a couch cushion.
I was just trying to make the evidence come to light. It's like I had the jacket and planted the jacket. I didn't know anything about that. It was the fact of the overwhelming information that led me there.
Hadsell tells 10 on your side police searched his hotel room Friday. Inside, he says they found 72 rounds of 9mm ammunition. A convicted felon, Hadsell doesn't deny his lengthy criminal record.
Made mistakes, and, I've been out of trouble for over 10 years.
A changed man is what he says he's become. You can say with confidence that you have nothing to do with the disappearance of Angelica.
Yes, sir. I can say with 100% confidence that I told him last night, I don't know where she is. I don't know if anything happened to her or did not happen to her.
19 days, going on 3 weeks without a trace of AJ. Hadsell says he's still holding on to a positive prayer.
I want my daughter home. That's what I want. And that's all I want.
And Wesley Hadsell is being held tonight without bond. We have checked with police regarding all his claims, including that jacket found inside that home. Police are not commenting, citing an ongoing investigation. In the newsroom, Joe Fisher, 10 on your side.
We started 6 with a renewed search for a young lady who seemingly just fell off the face of the earth. Angelica Hadsell, her friends call her AJ, was last heard from March 2nd. She was home on break from Longwood University when she vanished. Police have searched several areas, including Norfolk and Chesapeake. Now, a tip has led police and a dive team to Isle of Wight County, specifically a pond on Route 258 and Joiners Bridge Road in Carsville. That search is wrapped up for the day. 10 on your side's Joe Fisher has been on this story since the beginning. He joins us live from Isle of Wight County right now with the latest. Joe?
Yeah, Chris, this pond behind me is where the Norfolk Police Department spent 8 hours today searching. In talking with neighbors, I'm learning that they're asking questions about AJ's cell phone. They think her cell phone could possibly be in there. Detectives are also asking neighbors about a white van that was seen driving in this area. A white van, we've learned, that could have been driven by Wesley Hadsell, AJ's father, who is now facing 6 felony charges and remains behind bars. A fresh tip in the search for missing 18-year-old AJ Hadsell has led Norfolk police to this man-made pond in Isle of Wight County.
Had divers in the ponds, and they've had other people in the pond searching around the border of the pond, looking for whatever, anything they could find.
The woman who owns this property says her pond is 9 feet deep in some parts. Steve Hines lives across the street. He's been watching from a distance and says police have been in the area since Thursday night when detectives came by and asked him, along with some other neighbors, some questions.
My neighbor talked to the detective over there, and that's all the information I have. He said they told him they were looking for a cell phone.
This isn't the first search for AJ's cell phone. In fact, police have exhausted many leads looking for any trace of the missing teenager over the past 32 days. Norfolk police would not elaborate on the tip that brought them here, but 10 on your side is learning it could be more than just a cell phone.
One officer came over, or detective came over and showed me a picture on the cell phone. of a white van called Quality Plumbing.
AJ's mom, Jennifer Hadsell, confirmed exclusively with 10 on Your Side her husband worked for Quality Plumbing, regularly drove a truck, and was periodically doing work for the company in Franklin when AJ disappeared. That's just 3 miles south of this search area.
She asked me had I seen that van in the area lately, and I told her that within probably the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've seen her come down this road and then go back out.
Hines says the truck never stopped, but was moving slow along Joiners Bridge Road. The property owner tells 10 on Your Side off camera, quote, "My heart bleeds out for the family," hoping answers will soon come to a seemingly answerless investigation.
We start with breaking news tonight. Police confirm the remains found in Southampton County are missing teen A.J. Hadsell.
We just got that information in the last hour. 10 on Your Side's Joe Fisher is with the medical examiner's officer in Norfolk.
And Joe, what else have you learned at this point?
Yeah, right now within the past half hour here, we have learned that the remains found outside a home in Southampton County, outside a home on Smiths Ferry Road in Franklin, have been positively identified as those of missing 18-year-old Angelica A.J. Hadsell. And I have been talking with A.J.'s mother within the past half hour. She has told me that this is a very emotional time for the family. She has told me that she can hardly formulate words right now, but she did release a short statement to me by text message, and she said again, quote, this is quote from AJ's mother, Jennifer Hadsell, "I would like to express my deepest appreciation for the Norfolk PD, the FBI, search and rescue, the media, and the public for their superb dedication to this case and finding my daughter AJ. It has been confirmed by the coroner's office that it is in fact AJ. Please respect this time as we need to release emotionally. Your prayers are appreciated from the public." That coming from AJ's mother, saying that the family needs time to release emotionally, just finding out within the past hour or so that the remains found in Southampton County are in fact those of the missing teenager. We do want to show you some pictures, if we're not already, just to give you a brief history of this case. We've been following the story here at Wavy since AJ disappeared on March the 2nd. Since that day, 39 days ago, police have followed countless leads and tips, all that have turned up nothing. Yesterday, we got word that they were searching outside a home in Franklin, that a body was found outside there. And like we've been saying for the past hour, we do know that that body is A.J. Hadsell. This story has really crossed not just from Norfolk, but to communities throughout Hampton Roads, the state, even getting national attention from people in this search. We do not know right now the cause of death. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner here in Norfolk telling me that earlier today that while they may be able to identify the body, the cause of death could take several weeks depending on the situation. But again, they have positively identified those remains. I have been talking with the family. They tell me that while they're emotional, they plan to make a statement tonight at 7:30. AJ's mother says she will not be talking, but someone with the family or a close friend will be talking to the media at 7:30 tonight. But we just do want to confirm again that the remains, the body found outside a home in Franklin, are those of missing 18-year-old Angelica Hadsell. She was home on spring break. She was a second semester freshman at Longwood University. She graduated from Norview High School, described by friends and family as an angel, really. From parents, from both of her parents, I've learned that really AJ never got punished. She was always the good kid. She was always the good sibling. And that's, this picture they've been painting of this girl who just really never got into trouble throughout her life, and then to just seemingly fall off the face of the earth on March 2nd. It really hit the family hard. We do just want to touch on the fact that AJ's father, adoptive father, Wesley Hadsell, in the midst of this whole search on March 21st, was arrested on 7 charges that are connected to this case, but not directly connected to AJ's disappearance. He admits to breaking into a home to investigate AJ's disappearance. That was on March 6th. He was taken into custody on March 21st. We do know that he is still in the Norfolk City Jail. He does not have a bond, and he will be back in court on April 29th. But we do want to stress that police have not released any suspects in this case throughout the 39 days of this search. They say that there are no suspects in this case. The father, of course, behind bars on those charges. But again, the breaking news this hour is that A.J. Hadsell, who has been missing since March 2nd, is now found. The family to make a statement at 7:30 tonight. We will, of course, be following this story very closely. You can count on us for updates online at wavy.com and, of course, later tonight on Wavy News 10 at 10 and 11. For now, we're live in Norfolk. Joe Fisher, 10 on your side.
Now, an answer to a missing persons case a Norfolk family did not want to hear.
Officials confirmed remains found in a rural area of Southampton County belong to 18-year-old Angelica Hadsell.
Her family held out hope against all odds at the very end. 10 on your side's Aaron Kelly spent some time with them tonight. Aaron.
Tonight we're at the medical examiner's office where they work to make the positive identification. Earlier tonight, the family of A.J. Hadsell invited my colleague Joe Fisher and me to a small, emotional gathering behind their home.
It was tragic that this happened. It was tragic.
It's the news the Hadsell family feared the most.
That her life was taken.
39 days after 18-year-old A.J. Hadsell vanished from her Norfolk home comes confirmation. A body found outside this home in Franklin Thursday is that of the missing teen.
I watch the news every day, hoping they can find her alive. She was always somebody you could count on, you know. She was always cheerful.
Family friend and pastor Tim Moran speaking on behalf of A.J.'s mom, Jennifer, who is standing by his side, too emotional to talk.
There's anger. There's sadness, there's a lot of healing that needs to be taking place, but there's still a lot of unanswered questions to who, how, and what, and those are the important questions that we need answered for the family.
Moran says the family does not know what brought investigators to the home in Southampton County or what happened to her. For now, family and friends are leaning on one another, their hearts filled with pain.
She was always polite, respectful to everybody. And nobody had no bad words. You can't say nothing bad about her.
And while they wait for answers, those closest to A.J. are remembering the woman they so desperately wanted to bring home alive.
I still can't imagine what's going through their minds and things like that, but I know that it's important that we get resolved and that we get justice for A.J.
And the family says they just found out about all of this around 5 o'clock this evening, so of course they still have many questions about what happened. Right now they're working on a memorial video with messages from family and friends. They're going to be talking about what they loved about A.J. and what they'll miss the most. Live in Norfolk tonight, Aaron Kelly, 10 on your side.
On what would have been her 19th birthday, today a special dedication for Angelica Hadsell. The Norfolk teen went missing March 2nd while home on spring break. More than a month later, her body was found behind an abandoned home in Southampton County. And while the circumstances surrounding her death are still unknown, our Joe Fisher tells us how family and friends are keeping her memory alive. Joe?
Deanna, on the softball field is where loved ones say A.J. loved to spend her time. And that's exactly where they spent her birthday, playing ball. The field she grew up playing on is now officially named after her. On this field, behind A.J. Hadsell's Norfolk home, is where she learned to play ball as a little girl.
It's a very hard day. We've got family, we've got friends, we've got everybody here.
It's the field where she spent most of her birthdays, too, playing pickup games with friends.
I haven't slept the past 2 nights just thinking about anticipating for today.
Close friend Thomas Woodall shares his birthday with A.J. This year, the tradition carried on, with one precious piece missing.
Every year, August 9th, I'd come over here, and it'd be me and her, just celebrating our birthdays, having a good time. And now it can't be that way.
But while A.J. is no longer on the lineup as shortstop, her memory is forever on the backstop.
It's great that, that they wanted to do that for her, and, it'll always be A.J.'s field.
It's been 5 months since A.J. disappeared, seemingly out of nowhere. It's been 4 months since Mom Jennifer's toughest day.
Very hard. Very hard.
April 9th, when A.J.'s remains were found. The medical examiner says she died of heroin poisoning, but her mom and friends say she never used drugs.
I think about her constantly, so I definitely cried more today than most days so far, but she's always on my mind.
The 18-year-old, who should have turned 19 Saturday, had a promising future, loved ones say. Smart, funny, caring. A girl who liked digging her cleats into the dirt.
I know she's watching today because every year on our birthday it rains, and today, nothing.
A sunny day for a game AJ's mom says her daughter would have loved to be a part of.
I just remember her smile, and that's what gets me through it.
And AJ's mom, Jennifer, has launched a scholarship foundation in her daughter's name. It'll be awarded each year to a Norview High School athlete. The first fundraising event, a golf tournament, has been set for September 11th. More information on that over on wavy.com. I'm Joe Fisher, 10 on your side.
Federal case that moves forward in Norfolk against Wesley Hadsell.
He is the adoptive father of AJ Hadsell, a teenager who police found dead earlier this year. The state withdrew felony charges against Hadsell yesterday.
But today, he was back in court on a federal charge. 10 on your side's Joe Fisher has been following the investigation for months now. Joe, what's the latest?
Stephanie and Chris, Wesley Hadsell has been in jail for more than 5 months now, facing charges of obstructing justice, burglary, and possessing ammunition after a felony. Yesterday, those state charges were wiped away, at least for right now, and all Hadsell is facing is one elevated charge, a federal charge for possessing the ammunition.
Turning a negative into a positive. That's the purpose behind a new scholarship foundation in Norfolk in memory of AJ Hadsell.
That's the teenager who disappeared back in March. A month later, she was found dead. And her family is now committed to keeping her giving spirit alive. 10 on your side's Joe Fisher is here with how they're doing that. Joe?
Tom, Nicole, it took just weeks after Angelica Hadsell's death for her mom, Jennifer, to start working on a positive project, an athletic scholarship. AJ loves sports, so it's very fitting that today's first scholarship fundraising event included a little competition.
I hope she's proud of what we're doing.
At Souls Point Golf Course in Norfolk, 12 teams, about 50 people, played around Friday. The goal, more meaningful than shooting under par.
AJ was well known for being a good person in heart, and she was a great person all around.
Now family, even complete strangers, are raising money for a scholarship in AJ's honor. It'll be awarded to a senior athlete in financial need at Norview High School, where AJ graduated in 2014 and was friends with Ashton Thomas.
Everyone loved her.
You know, she was always wanting to help people out, no matter what their situation was.
Sadly, AJ is no longer here to lend a helping hand. The 18-year-old vanished earlier this year for 1 month before being found dead behind an abandoned home. And while the medical examiner says the teen died of heroin poisoning, how she spent her final moments and with who are still very much unknown.
There's a lot of negativity surrounding the situation, and she was not a negative person in any stretch of the imagination.
Jennifer Hadsell has pushed the pedal to the metal since AJ's death, persistent in keeping her daughter's legacy alive, with no plans of stopping.
I'd like to think that she's looking down and she's proud that, you know, we've done this in her honor, and, you know, to be able to help somebody, and that she's proud at all the response that we've had.
A federal grand jury just indicted Wesley Hadsell on a felony weapons charge.
Yeah, Hadsell is in trouble for possessing ammunition after a prior felony conviction. He's the adoptive father of AJ Hadsell, the teenager who disappeared, and police found her remains earlier this year. Investigators do not consider Wesley Hadsell a suspect in AJ's death, but they do consider him a threat to the public.
10 on your side's Joe Fisher joins us now in the studio.
Yeah, and Joe, you've been following this case really for months.
Anita, Stephanie, I really have, and this is possibly the biggest development to come out of Wesley Hadsell's arrest. He's been locked up now for 6 months. He was taken into federal custody last week and denied bond Monday. Today, we found new court paperwork, a 10-page handwritten note from Wesley Hadsell in jail, a letter that sheds new light into why a judge has repeatedly denied him bond. Innocent until proven guilty is a joke. Wonder why I always ran when charged, Mom? Those words in a newly obtained letter that Wesley Hadsell sent to his mom from jail. Wish I had bond. I'd go away for sure, Hadsell said. Federal prosecutors say those words are evidence that Hadsell presents a flight risk, a reason to keep him behind bars so he shows up to court. In recent weeks, Hadsell was denied bond for the third time and transferred into federal custody on a charge of possessing ammunition. Investigators searched Hadsell's Norfolk hotel room in March and found nearly 80 rounds of ammunition. Prosecutors say another man testified in court to Hadsell having 2 guns. They say he, quote, presents a danger to the community. Hadsell has a lengthy criminal past spanning 15 years, including a bank robbery in 2005. Hadsell writes to his mom, "I did promise to never go back to prison. I'll keep that promise at all costs." In 2010, prosecutors say Hadsell indicated if he were to ever return to prison, he would either take his own life or die trying to avoid arrest. Since being locked up 6 months ago, Hadsell has maintained his innocence despite some questioning his involvement in AJ's death. Police have never named him a suspect. He writes to his mom, quote, "I didn't hurt AJ, but what does my voice matter?" And later writes, quote, "Can't take much more than life from me. AJ being gone, I'm already dead inside. My marriage is gone, family gone, life gone. Sanity is slipping." And that letter was filed in federal court. That's the only one we have, but we know from reading it that it's the 5th letter he sent his mother. Now that he's been indicted today, Hadsell's case will now go to trial. No word on when that will be. Meantime, I did check in with Norfolk police, who say they are still investigating who could possibly be responsible for AJ's death, and they're asking anyone with information in the public to come forward and call police. Live in the studio tonight, I'm Joe Fisher, 10 on your side.
A guilty plea today for the adoptive father of A.J. Hadsell. After a number of rounds in court, Wesley Hadsell pleaded guilty in federal court to a weapons charge, and tonight we have an idea of how he'll be punished when the time comes. 10 on your side's Joe Fisher has been following this story since the beginning. Joe?
Well, Tom, it's already been 8 months since A.J. Hadsell's disappearance and subsequent death. She was found in April. Lots of twists and turns in this case, and that continued today as the teen's adoptive father could now be headed to prison for life on a charge unrelated to A.J.'s death. It's unlikely Wesley Hadsell would be facing charges in federal court had it not been for his adopted daughter's disappearance. In the midst of the search for 18-year-old Angelica A.J. Hadsell in March, Norfolk investigators searched Mr. Hadsell's hotel room and found ammunition. The convicted felon has been locked up since that day, 7 months ago. Friday in federal court, Wesley Hadsell said, quote, "Yes, Your Honor," admitting to a judge he illegally possessed ammunition. His defense tells 10 on your side they're hoping for less than 10 years prison time. 38 painstaking days after vanishing, family members got the news they feared the most. AJ's body found by police, dumped behind an abandoned home in Franklin. Wesley Hadsell has maintained his innocence all along, and police never named him a suspect. But it's Hadsell's criminal history that could play into a judge's decision to hand down a stiffer sentence. His prior convictions include a 2005 bank robbery, burglary, breaking and entering, and writing bad checks. If a judge agrees with the prosecution that Hadsell is an armed career criminal, he could face a minimum of 15 years to life in prison. Still, his defense tells 10 on your side by phone, quote, "We do not believe his record will qualify him as an armed career criminal. A final decision will be made when Wesley Hadsell is sentenced in March. In the meantime, he's been ordered to stay in jail." And that sentencing date set for March 18th here in Norfolk Federal Court. Meantime, it's been 7 months since AJ's body was found. I asked Norfolk Police, is this considered a cold case? Have all of your leads come up dry? They say no, this is still an open and active investigation. And I reached out to Jennifer Hadsell, AJ Hadsell's mother, who tells me tonight she is confident, quote, confident the person responsible for her daughter's death will be held accountable very soon. Live in Norfolk tonight, Joe Fisher, 10 on your side.